What's up, guys? Back at me with the Fosters, Season 2, Episode 12, Over/Under. Okay, so this episode starts off with Sophia or Callie putting her head underwater, and then we get a flashback to to when Callie and Marion showed up at the place at the house, and Stephanina and Mariana are there because of course they are, because it's a quiz. So then Joe explains that he got into a fight with his daughter, basically Callie, or his daughter, and he basically had a panic attack. So Callie, so back at home, they're basically like, why would Robert pull a panic attack stunt? He sounds like such a nice guy, and Callie's just sitting over there saying nothing. So yeah, so yeah. So Brandon and Callie talk about it. So yeah. So Matt and Marlon are hearing Brandon and Lou sing Crossfire, which is a new song where they come together. And Matt has kind of like a worry that Matt and Marlon that Lou and Brandon dating will affect the band. And Marlon's like, Brandon and Lou were dating. She knew that she was giving him those bedroom eyes, which is kind of creepy. It's also gross, Mariana. Keep those things to yourself. I guess she's with her boyfriend, but come on, it's still not. But anyway, yeah. So even Callie sees Brandon and Lou messing around, and it's kind of like, and I don't. She yeah. So yeah. So Brandon goes out. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So Seth goes over to Jill, talk to Jill, but Robert's like, "Hey guys," and he's like, and Robert's like, "Hey, he just wants to relationship Callie," and she's like, "After the stunt you pulled, we're not gonna obligate her to do so." He's like, "I knew it would come to this. You'll be hearing from his lawyers. He's asking to obligate custody of Callie. So, come on, Robert. You were doing so good in my eyes. I even referenced your other roles like Jack and Dawson's Creek. And you gotta pull this where you now want the judge, you want the court to you want position his suit for custody. Come on, dude, you were getting so good." And Lena's like, "You really went over there?" And she's like, "If we went over there, Robert wouldn't have had this idea." And she's like, "You quit your job for Jude." And she's like, "I quit my job to protect Jude." And she's like, "What do you think I'm doing for Callie? You're protecting me. What do you think she's doing for Callie?" And she's trying to protect Callie. And she's like, "The more you protect Jude, the more he's gonna hurt." So, yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So Jude's like, "I have to tell you about Connor." And Connor, they say about how they caught some person in their tent and they started making out with them. And Connor basically doesn't like this. She's basically like, he can't be friends with a little crapper. Tells his mom every time something happens. Connor, it was Jude's fault here. Mm-hmm. Connor just overreacted. Again, Jude, yeah, going away. So anyway, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, anyway, Marion, Caitlin, Marion's awful coach, awful captain decides to switch Marion and some other guy's soul. And Marion's like, "Wait, really? It's the time of dance competition. The dance competition's the next day. You're really gonna do it now?" And she's like, "Yeah." And Marion takes the pamphlet, but no one else could, so no one else would, not even Tia. So yeah. So yeah. So this is like, they're like, we want. So yeah. So they're like, Alantine, good is this a good thing? And he's like, yeah. So he's just he's just go. So like Alateen is a good thing for you, and because Brandon went to Alateen for his drunk people, and basically he just goes, but he does not go to Alateen. He goes to Anna's AA meeting where he discovers Anna's pregnant. But now you gotta wonder, who did Anna get pregnant off of Mike? Did she get pregnant off some random guy she found on the street while she was drug dealing? Who's the father of Anna's baby? We'll probably never know. We'll probably never know who the father of Anna's baby is. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. So yeah. But yeah. So we'll probably never find out. They're doing this, but anyway, yeah. So so they know about Sophia ripping the papers because they're like, "Hey, where are the band papers?" And she's like, "Robert's daughter ripped them up," and he's like, "I want to spend one day a week with your father." And he's like, "I'll see Robert, but I won't see anyone else. I won't come to the house. I won't see Jill." And I won't see Sophia. So Sophia goes to Callie at her workplace, which we found out last episode, and they're in the flashback, that Daphne gave her the job. Speaking of last episode, there was a scene that I forgot to mention where Daphne takes Tasha, her daughter. She doesn't take her, but she makes her come with her off screen, and Brandon and Callie help her because Brandon has an obligation to help Callie in anything, even in flashbacks. And yeah, this is last episode I'm talking about. So to fill you in, because I missed out to talk about this, and Brandon and Daphne takes her daughter and moves her and puts her to her foster family, and Callie got her job from Daphne. But basically, back to this episode, Callie's like, "You ruined my life. There was anything to make me forgive you." And Sophia's like, "You don't forgive me, she'll kill herself." So, and she's like, "Yeah, like that's gonna happen." So Sophia starts walking into traffic. A car hits another car, and Sophia's just like, and looks at Callie, and it's just like, "OMG, Sophia, what did you just do?" It makes sense because of what Sophia said in episode 7 about how it wouldn't be bad if she wasn't around. This kind of makes sense, but Sophia later tells the cops a fake story. But Callie's like, "No, we're having a." When the cops leave, she tells them the truth. She's like, "Yeah, it wasn't an accident. They got into a fight, and she said if she didn't forgive her, Sophia would kill herself." And it's kind of dark. This is a dark scene for people. So anyway, and they're like, "Sophia, why would you want to do this?" Sophia's like, she just wants to end it all. Sometimes Sophia wants to die. And yeah, and they're like, "We're gonna take you home," with a distraught Robert just looking like. I felt bad for Robert in this scene because he didn't know that. I was even saying, Sophia, you need to get some help here. Like, she's talking about ending her own life because she feels like sometimes she wants to die. That is dark for an episode. That is sad. That is dark. That is twisted. We knew this was coming from episode 7 when Sophia said that it would be better if Sophia wasn't around. But now they're bringing it up into overdrive with this whole thing about Sophia saying that she would kill herself if Callie didn't forgive her, and then she said that sometimes she didn't want to go on about how. Yeah, I feel bad for Robert here, but at least Callie does tell them that they're getting her some help, which is great because Sophia needs it after that moment, that twisted, dark moment that she just had. That was dark. So yeah, so back at the place that Callie did, that Mariana's team leader is like, "Hey, we're gonna cut your solo," and she's like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, and Tia stands up to her saying, "You're kind of gonna be a jerk face here." And she's like, "With the coach out, I'm the captain, and if you want to leave, you can just walk off." And I'm just saying, Mariana, walk off with her. But no, Mariana doesn't. But Mariana does later tell Tia, she's like, "Hey, I read, you know that pamphlet that Caitlin was saying now? It said that only the team that qualified stayed. And and she qualified. And she's like, let's start our own dance team, Tia. And she's like, hey Tia, are you into starting our own dance team? Just her and Mariana? And she's like, absolutely. And Tia's like, and Mariana says, hold up a minute. Caitlin, she quit. Bye. And Caitlin's like, ugh. And just leaves. Good job, Mariana. You finally came over to your whole thing that you've been trying to prove yourself to this dance team, but you're finally coming over it and wanting to form your own, which is kind of great. Mariana finally becoming the great character that she was in season 1, and I'm happy for it. And now that she's proven herself that she doesn't need to be on a dance team to be cool. That kind of was proven when she changed her hair from blonde to black. I don't care if they call it brunette. I do not care. That is wrong. That did not look like brunette. It looked like blonde. I don't care what the show calls it. That did not look like brunette. Brunette hair is basically like Emma's hair. But this hair is blonde. I don't care what the show calls it. Her hair was blonde, not brunette. I like black hair Mariana better. Because now Mariana, I don't care what the show calls it. I don't care. Do not care that they call brown and brunette. But anyway, yeah. So Brandon gets a thing at Idlewild, gets a thing out. The people at Idlewild saw the junior symphony that he did and were impressed by it. So they're like, hey, we're offering a scholarship to Idlewild. But Brandon, for some reason, doesn't want to go to that scholarship. Because he basically like, Haley and stuff, I want to go and tour with the band. Which is kind of like, Brandon, that school is prestigious. But you'd rather go on tour with a band. You'd rather go to a tour with a band than a prestigious. So yeah, so Callie's like, kind of like, why didn't you tell Stephanie about Outlaw? Because he basically tells her about Outlaw. And he's like, I want to go on tour. And she's like, I don't want you to tell them about Outlaw either. So, yeah. And then he basically confronts Brandon about saying, hey, is Lou why he can't be? Is it because of Lou? Is Lou why he can't be with her? Why he can't be with her? He's like, you're the reason I can't be with you, Callie. And she's like, I'm always gonna have feelings for you, Callie, but I don't trust you. You always come to me when your problems are all going wrong and when everything's not going your way. So yeah, I'm done. We're done. So basically, yeah, that wraps up this episode. So I thought this episode was really good. Brandon finally told Callie that, finally stood up to Callie and was like, hey, basically, actually, I like Bradley as a couple, but come on. My boy Wyatt and Wally is so my favorite too. But Brandon basically said that Callie, the only time Callie needs him is when she, like, last episode, things were going wrong for her. When things were going wrong for her with Robert, so last episode 10, things were going around her with Robert, so she kissed Brandon. And now Brandon's finally realizing that every time Callie needs him is when things are going wrong and things are messed up for her. So he's done. He's done. He's done with their relationship. It's like Lou's not the reason. It's just that he's done. So, yeah. So I thought this episode was really great. Connor, not so much. I just kind of didn't like how he blamed Jude. Like I get it. He doesn't want Jude's secret to be exposed. But bro, it's not like Jude's parents aren't gonna figure it. It's not like Jude's moms aren't gonna figure out that he's hiding something. I get with Brandon and Jesus, and Mariana, they all have to explain something, but it's not like Jude's moms aren't gonna figure it out. So yeah, I thought the episode was really good. So yeah, there's also a teen crisis hotline for people who want to commit suicide. So there's a thing at the end of the episode. Also, we get a new ending theme where it plays the instrumental of the theme song with pictures from the episode, which I thought was really good. But yeah, so Maya Mitchell and Sherry Sam. Maya Mitchell plays Callie, Australian. She doesn't use her English voice in the ad. She uses her Australian voice. It's at the end of the episode before the closing credits. But yeah, this episode is really good. Sophia, she's just messed up. She's a sad person. I like her, but it's just sad what she's going through. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, visit more fun night, and I'll see you next Fosters.